So we all know this new Sims 4 pack Enchanted by Nature is based on Ireland, my home. It's packed with nods to the Irish language and folklore, which I love. So let me tell you a bit about what I know of this pack and the Irish inspirations. So the world is called Innisgreen, likely derived from Innis, meaning island in Irish, and green, well, because Ireland. The neighbourhoods are full of meaning too. Coast of Admore sounds like Awamore, which means great wood. Spruce Dairy Grove, where dairy comes from Dura, meaning oak grove. And some lots, I think, are named Ballynook, Ballywinnie, Ballybride, where Bally comes from Ballia, meaning town or homestead. A common element in Irish place names, a lot of Ireland towns and roads, etc. are named Bally something. Now let's talk about the fairy lore, which is where it gets fun. Irish fairies are called the Aos Sí. These aren't your typical fairy dust sparkly fairies, so they're powerful, otherworldly beings linked to the Tuatha Danann, a mythological race said to have retreated underground after losing the Great Battle. They live in the Sí, which are fairy mounds scattered across Ireland. People still respect these mounds to this day. You would not cut down a lone hawthorn tree or build over a ring fort. And on nights like the Samhain, end of October, or Beltane, the start of May, people used to leave out milk and bread for the fairies. Some still do in rural areas. Iron was also seen as protection, so things like horseshoes over doors and even pins and scissors left under your pillow. Instead of saying fairy, people used to use the term the good people or the gentry to stay respectful. But Irish folklore goes way beyond the Aos Sí. Take the Banshee for example. Her name comes from Banshee, meaning woman of the fairy mound. She's not evil and she's more of a warning. If you hear her wail, it's said someone in your family is about to pass. Then there's the salmon of knowledge, a magical fish that held all the world's wisdom. The story goes that a young warrior named Finn MacCool accidentally tasted it and became the wisest man in Ireland. Speaking of Finn, he's also tied to the legend of the Giant's Causeway, which I've seen they've built into this pack as well. He supposedly built it to fight a Scottish giant, but when he saw how massive the cow was, he ran home and disguised himself as a baby. The Scottish giant saw the baby and thought, well, if that's the child, I'm not sticking around to meet the dad. And then there's the Silkies, seal people who can shed their skins and walk on land. Most of their stories are about love, loss and longing for the sea. Irish lore is actually full of these kind of tales, magical, a bit eerie and always tied to nature. Even the language reflects that. Words like the Samhain and Beltane aren't just holidays, they mark the turning points of the year when the veil between the worlds is thin. So when you're playing this pack, you're stepping into a world shaped by centuries of myth, belief and storytelling. Obviously that's not going to come across in The Sims 4, but it's definitely a wee country I am proud to be from. But I have a feeling this will be my favourite world just because it's inspired by home.